It's Week 12 from the Circle City. We'll see Tom Brady taking on a familiar opponent in Indy, a team he's defeated 11 times with just 3 losses. It's the Bucs and the Colts, and it's coming up next.
We have a perfect day for football, and the roof is open, in fact, here at Lucas Oil Stadium in downtown Indianapolis. Just as we were ready for air, it was the Colts emerging from the locker room to great fanfare here in Indy. They're ready to go as the Colts get set to match up with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And CD, you look at the Colts in this matchup. We know how well they throw the football, but they're going to have their work cut out for them in this one.
Yeah, they're going up against a top 5 unit in the league, and this is a defense. They don't make a lot of mistakes. Well coached, they execute really, really well, and terrific leadership on that side of the ball. So precision, that's going to have to be a key for them in this one.
The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This one fielded at the 5. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. We get a peek at Tom Brady as he brings out this Tampa Bay offense. And Tom Brady in his 22nd season overall and his 2nd in Tampa Bay.
And he's been, in my mind, the best player in the NFL at this point of the season. And I think if you polled folks with a ballot, and I certainly have one, I think they'd say he's the front runner for MVP. So now it comes down to finishing out the season strong. And a good game here would certainly strengthen his case.
Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25. The numbers for Jones last week, 14 carries, 59 yards.
They've won 2 straight games, and they've done it with the running game as the focal point of their offense. So in this contest, I don't think about doing anything else. I continue to ride the hot hand that I've established and lead with the runners.
The throw on second down by Brady is incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. And Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one, because to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well, but that starts with the organization itself, all the way through. No excuses for guys being out. Finding guys who are capable backups who can step up and play when they need them, and we've seen the results of that. This team knows how to work through things.
Brady now on first down. That one tipped, and it's incomplete. Good hands there defensively at 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Brady. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. Well, this crowd does not like that call.
Understandable reaction from them. That's their team that the penalty is going against, but you and I both know they're going to take care of the quarterback.
Brady now on first down. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. And CD, defensively, you're going against a hot quarterback coming off a 3-touchdown game in their victory a week ago. What's the big key for them to try to slow him down?
You ask all the tough questions, don't you, partner? Because with this guy, if you blitz him, he takes advantage of that man coverage and burns you. But if you bring on those extra DBs, he sits back there and does what he wants. To me, it's going to be those DBs. When they catch the ball, big-time tackles, really put it on those receivers. First drive of the game. We did see this in practice, didn't we? Because they allowed us to stay and watch and see what their opening script would be, even though we don't know the exact play calls. That looks a lot like what we saw them execute, doesn't it?
It really does. And in practice, it wasn't about a lot of big shots on that opening drive. They wanted to put together a series of plays, sustain it. They've done that. The defense now on their heels a little.
That they are. And you know what else is happening now? They're gaining information. They're gaining knowledge about how the defense is planning on playing them. So not only are they being successful on this drive, they're filing things away for future drives in this game.
And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Now they'll throw with Brady. Throwing left side, he's got Gronk, complete. And the Bucs are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
And oftentimes we think about statement drives in the second halves of games, especially in the 4th quarter. But here, it's happening early, a definite statement. They've held on to the ball for a healthy portion of this 1st quarter already. And now after that completion, they're set up 1st and goal.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Fournette, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Leonard Fournette, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bucs have taken a 1st quarter lead. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories, and you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
Ryan Suckup on for the point after. And that one gives the Bucs a 7-0 lead. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And the man who finished it off with a run into the end zone, Leonard Fournette. Well, following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. Taken at the goal line. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
And he's been, in my mind, the best player in the NFL at this point of the season. And I think if you polled folks with a ballot, and I certainly have one, I think they'd say he's the front runner for MVP. So now it comes down to finishing out the season strong. And a good game here would certainly strengthen his case.
Max got the first down and then some. And finally taken down at the 34. A big play there out of the running game.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. On the ground, it's Mack. A look at the numbers for Mack from last week. 2 trips to the end zone and well past 100 yards.
And going back and watching the film, we saw every kind of run from him, didn't we? We saw some power, we saw finesse, we saw speed, and what I love the most, he finished each and every run.
Bust through the tackle, and he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 44 yards rushing for him now on just his first 3 carries. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done, down to the 15 from the 21.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself a big...
And he's got his man. It's Hilton for the Colts touchdown. T.Y. Hilton there to make the grab. And the Colts are an extra point away from tying up this football game. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Fielded right around the 8. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their second drive. And they came into play here off 2 straight victories. They're back to 500 on the year. But, Charles, is this little mini run coming too late to salvage their season?
Well, they definitely dug themselves a hole that leaves them needing to play almost perfect football from here on out. But I do believe they think that they've got this thing turned around, and they are capable of doing exactly that. The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
On 2nd and 12, Brady over the middle to Evans. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Let's go. I know this may be jumping the gun a little bit, but 7-7, they're flinging it around like crazy. Look at the drive that's going on here. Partner, we may have to start thinking about one of these defenses just holding someone to a field goal and maybe trying to get an advantage that way.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Well, this defense for the Colts, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
Anytime you can hold a team to less than 10 points, your expectation of winning that game has to be sky high. In fact, you'd be absolutely stunned to come away with a loss in that one. Could you imagine going to the press conference and trying to explain that? Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
On 1st and 10, here's Brady. Being chased out left. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down. Brady going to throw. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Darius Leonard, the linebacker. And he will bring it back. An interception return for the Colts team. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Now Blankenship on for the PAT. And his kick is no good. It's an early miss. We'll see if that has any ramifications later here as the afternoon wears on. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. Taking it about the 1. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. And following the pick 6, and they decent field position and throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Julian Blackmon bringing him down. Second down at 5. To throw, it's Brady. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here.
A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
Frank Reich not so sure about that last call. He's going to go ahead and throw out the challenge flag. And we'll get a moment here as they look this one over.
Yeah, remember now, the call on the field is what they'll stick with unless they have clear video evidence to the contrary. And I give these officials a lot of credit. Such a tough and demanding job. You and I both know that.
So not successful there on the challenge, and he'll have to be careful from here on out because he'll only have one challenge remaining. And this is too far behind his man. He missed him. It's incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
And here's Rodgers on the return. A 41-yard punt, 9 on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Marlon Mack now heading back out there. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down. The CD, this offense at 11-0 now on the year. A few weeks ago, I remember asking you what kind of percentage chance that you thought they had at staying unbeaten the entire season. I think you said 25%. I'd imagine that number probably grown since then.
I would agree with you, and I'm going to actually bump it up to closer to 50%. Only because they still have some tough games to come. And keeping that focus throughout the entire season, that's been a really difficult thing to pull off. But so far, they've done it, and they've done it well.
He'll look to throw. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
As a rookie quarterback, that's exactly how you endear yourself to your teammates. Give it up for the cause. It's also how you end up on the training table, too.
Yeah, it's a catch-22. Coach doesn't like it. Teammates love it. Where do you fall on it?
Well, I fall on wanting to endear yourself to your teammates, but pick your spots. Be smart about it. They need you for the full season.
Yeah, the rookie's going to learn as he goes. Gets by him, and now a little daylight. Boom! Still fighting through tackles. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. 76 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah, key that A-gap usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts, because everyone wants to kind of control that area. It disrupts things from the defensive side and the offensive side. As we just saw, it opens up possibilities.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it. It's Mack. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Marlon Mack, touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Colts are able to grow their lead. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know it sounds really generic and it sounds almost trite, but the blocks were made up front. Offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And the lead now stands at 13. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. Taking it about the 1. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well, and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack.
Well, when you're down a couple of scores like this, CD, you can't afford too many plays that go in the wrong direction like that one.
Yeah, when you take a good look at it broadly, sacks are better than giving up an interception. But where they are on the scoreboard, they've got to get rid of all of that and just create positive plays for themselves in order to have a chance.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now Brady. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Well, as we get ready for third down, let's go back and recap here. The sack on the first play of this drive, that threw a wrench in what they were trying to accomplish because they were compelled to throw the ball on second down. A running play was not in the works. And that incompletion set up another passing down here on third and long.
More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Colts are set up well as they take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Marlon Mack now heading back out there. He's in his own second quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back.
Puts it on the carpet, it's out. And he's going to be stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there for him. 2nd down. We always hear a lot of veterans on the defensive side of the football. They talk about smelling blood in the water, putting pressure on a rookie. They got to him there to force it free, but couldn't recover it.
And you mentioned the pressure. Rookie quarterback, you're going to bring more pressure at him at all times because you don't know how he's going to hold up. He was fortunate there. Luck was on his side, able to recover that fumble.
On 2nd down, it's Mack. Strong running at the 30. And he's taken down inside the 30. 102 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
2nd and 3. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Well, it looked like a quick hitter, a 3-step drop, but when it's not there, what do? He elects to try and escape through the massive bodies up the middle, and he does so and picks up positive yardage.
And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to convert on 3rd and short yardage with a gain of 4.
Well, they're currently the best in the NFL in converting on 3rd down, so it was no surprise there that they picked that one up.
And they've done it in many different ways throughout the season, Charles. Picking it up, running it, throwing it, just effective. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A 16-yard touchdown run. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage.
He continues to show at this level that he can not only pass for touchdowns, he can run for touchdowns.
Not the first time we've seen this, because this young guy, he really makes it happen. So what that tells me is the book on him has to change. You got to now plan for those legs as well as him throwing the football.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good.
And that pushes the lead up to an even 20.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Now this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Now a first down carry by Jones. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Meanwhile, Brady's throw on target to Godwin here.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Looking downfield for Godwin. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Shotgun now for Brady.
They're targeting Godwin once more, this time complete.
Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Brady going to try and throw on 3rd down.
They're looking for Godwin, but it's intercepted.
Picked up by Kenny Moore.
And the Colts are going to get the football back at their own 17. Boy, we've seen a lot of mistakes here in this first half, and another there on the interception.
Yeah, they're certainly starting to pile up, aren't they? Because, let's face it, we expect a miscue here and there, but they're already down 3 scores and still giving the ball away. If they want to get back into this one, they've got to take care of the ball, because right now the way they're playing doesn't say a whole lot for their chances.
Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And it's actually been out of the backfield, handing the ball off where they've had a lot of success. So if you're the quarterback, do you just maybe say, you know, maybe this isn't my day, our running game's going so well, you just continue to lean on that?
I agree. That's exactly what you do. And you have to...
And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. Touchdown, Indianapolis. T.Y. Hilton, 83 yards.
And the Colts are able to widen their lead here in this first half. We saw this plenty last year in college. He loved to take his shots downfield, and that throw, that was a thing to behold there.
And I'm telling you, nothing will let up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and you know everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
And that throw, amazingly, well over 70 yards in the air, according to Next Gen Stats. Wow.
Well, they couldn't be happy that they were having to stop a 2-point conversion, because that means they gave up a touchdown. But a little solace there. You saw some good gang tackling, stacking him up before he can get to the end zone.
We talk about offensive units putting in more 2-point period sessions in practice. Defensively, do you do the same?
Absolutely. You have to, because you never know how aggressive these offenses are going to be in games nowadays.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. DeForest Buckner racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. And here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. From the gun, it's Brady. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. On 3rd down, here's Jones. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Bradley Pinion now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away.
On the return, it's Rodgers.
It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. The Colt offense and T.Y. Hilton making their way back out. We're in the second quarter. He already has 2 touchdowns. We know how good he is. That's well documented. How do you contain him?
We know he's a nightmare. So in this situation, I would go ahead and double him, maybe even have a 3rd person in the area, and try and dissuade them from throwing him the football. Make someone else beat me for a while, because I don't know that their talents are his. Because when he gets his hands on the ball, he breaks down my entire D. Someone else, they may not make.
And that is caught at the 10-yard line. Touchdown. T.Y. Hilton on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns.
And the Colts are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass his young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed, aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen, and it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. This fielded right at the goal line. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. One more drive here for the Buccaneer offense in this first half. And they've got less than 30 seconds to go here, so not a lot of time to work with.
Throwing on first down is Brady.
This one swung out here to Jones.
And a nice stiff arm. It opens room to run. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Brady. He sets up the screen to Jones. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. The Bucs forced to use their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. This is caught by Evans. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 42. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, bye weeks, they're over. We've once again got a full slate of games to get to as we take you around the NFL here in Week 12. We'll begin out in Houston, and it's the Texans out in front as that one is just about to halftime. Deshaun Watson on fire, 3 touchdown passes. From there, we'll head to Cincinnati to check on the Bengals at home at Paul Brown Stadium. And you can see they trail in that matchup against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Ben Roethlisberger has thrown a couple of touchdown passes. Lastly, we head to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough to check on the Patriots. And that game is tied as they take on the visiting Tennessee Titans. Moving on, let's take a look at the next-gen stats in the first half for Tampa Bay. And they didn't get a whole lot accomplished through the air in those first 2 quarters of play. They'll need to up their game if they want to rally all the way back. Meanwhile, for the Colts, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in the second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. Well, the Colts ready to go to work to start the third quarter. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
They go play action here on first down. Looking deep for Hilton. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Indianapolis. T.Y. Hilton, 75 yards. And the Colts have got it on cruise control. He put quite a bit of air underneath that touchdown pass. Of course, we knew that he had the strong arm.
That part was easy. You could see that throughout his college career. But what you want to know about a rookie is when the pressure's on, can you throw with touch? He just did right there. And boy, it was pretty.
Rodrigo Blankenship on for the PAT. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. This one fielded at the 5. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together all their positions, then coming together as a group.
The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Grover Stewart has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now left side on the swing pass. And they're able to bring him down at the 20.
I like the thinking there because right after a sack, it can be a great time to call for a screen to your running back and use the eagerness of the defense against him. Able to gain some positive yards out of this one and make things a little bit easier for him on third down.
Brady's throw on third down there is incomplete. Here's Bradley Pinion now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. That's pulled in at the 32. A very good punt, but a 16-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And we take some time to spotlight T.Y. Hilton now. What a game for him, Charles. 4 touchdowns. Heck, for a lot of guys, that's a good season number.
You're exactly right. And let's face it, we have to stand up and applaud this one, even though we're supposed to be neutral, because this doesn't just happen by accident. This isn't 4 times where the defense just falls down or breaks coverage. He's worked awfully hard, changing routes, changing areas, changing angles, and getting open for touchdowns.
We knew he'd be part of the game plan in a big way, and it has been in a very big way. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
112 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
They're going to look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release, as this will be incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit, because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
On 2nd down, here's a run with Mack. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had the incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
And he will have the 1st down across the 20 to the 19-yard line.
He really looked comfortable there, scanning the situation, analyzing things, feeling the pressure, and then stepping up right through the middle and sprinting for a 1st down.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Not too many missteps in the red zone thus far. He was going for his 5th touchdown pass. His man couldn't shake free there, but boy, you know he's going to take another shot before this one's over.
Yeah, exactly, because you know 3 is good, 4 is excellent. You get 5, that's a whale of a game. Escaping the pressure right. And a good gain here of 9 from the 19 down to the 10.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. He'll drop to throw. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the 1st down as he's tackled at the 2.
Now that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a 1st down, and inside.
And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line. William Golston able to get him for a loss of about 3.
That I'm struggling to understand a little bit. That close to the goal line, 1st down, run the football. If you want to throw it, throw some play action on 2nd down.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. A great play there, with now his 2nd touchdown of this 3rd quarter. And the Colts just continue to pour it on. We've seen this already from him in this game. 2nd time he's into the end zone with a rushing touchdown.
So the head coach is going to have a meeting with the owner this week. You know why? He's got to let the owner know, I know you wrote the check for his arm, but we're going to make him a part of our running game too. This guy can do it all. Let's see where he takes us.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good.
And the lead will swell by 1 more.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. This one fielded at the 5. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Back now comes Tampa Bay. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A little bit of daylight on that first down run sets him up nicely. 8 yards on the carry.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Now here's a throw that's complete. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Brady gives this one off to Jones. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
2 first downs have him up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. Working from the gun, it's Brady. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Evans. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Now Brady. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. The sack backs him up 3rd and long. Tough challenge for Brady and the Bucs. Back to throw. Brady. Under pressure, they got him again. Quiddy Pay in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
No, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And taken right at the 35. 35 yards that time on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. We focus our attention now on T.Y. Hilton as he gets ready to head back onto the field. And I think we both agreed he could have a really good game with this matchup, but over 200 yards now.
I don't think we saw it as that good. And I think what really makes it special is when games like this are occurring, it's not just getting locked in and in the zone and on a roll. It's continuing to adjust throughout the game because, you know, the defense is kicking coverages towards him, trying their best to slow him down, and he keeps getting the better of it.
Yeah, whatever they've done, it hasn't worked. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Mack. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. Six yards left on 2nd down. On the give, this is Mack. Pushing it, evades the tackler, and now some space. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance
It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Colts add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. I'm pretty sure that was a passing play, but he took off pretty quickly and ran with it.
Love his decisiveness on it because you're exactly right. He was supposed to go back in the pocket and survey the field and throw the football. But when that hole opened, he just said, forget it, let's go. And boy, did that work out well.
And now the Colts are going to keep the offense on the field as they'll go for 2 here. They'll try the sneak. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, yeah, it's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot. No, okay.
And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now.
Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. And Brady and the Buccaneers here, 1st and 10
at their own 18. Throwing to start the drive. Brady. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10.
Brady going right back to Jones. This time the connection made.
They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Here's Brady. Throw right side, taken in by Godwin. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll be 4th down. The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. And take it right on the 30. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5. The Colt offense and T.Y. Hilton making their way back out. All right, how has he done it? 4 touchdowns in this contest. He's been around the end zone in particular, pretty much uncoverable.
And you know that I typically take things from a defensive perspective. I'm not going to do that this time. Let's just praise him. My goodness, 4 receiving touchdowns means he's been a variety of coverages throughout this game because they're not just letting him run scot-free. They're trying their best to shut him down, and he's shredding them.
I got to be honest, I want to see 5. No, you want to see 5? I mean, we're not supposed to be biased, but...
We're not rooting. Just in the interest of the game, let's go ahead and see 5.
He'll take a shot downfield for Pittman.
And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
He was looking for Michael Pittman that time.
And it's 3rd down. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Looking deep for Hilton. And that is caught at the 10-yard line. Touchdown, Colts. T.Y. Hilton, 67 yards.
And the Colts are going to be moving on to 12-0 as they extend their lead further. Sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money.
And give him credit. He deserves it. But this is such a breakdown defensively. My goodness. From a pass rush perspective, you know that they got to be coming hard on fourth down trying to get to the quarterback. But from a coverage perspective, how do you not see that play developing? And it turns into a touchdown.
Extra point by Blankenship. It's up and good. And that will extend this big lead. So that drive, 4 plays. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. This taken in at the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
Yeah, that one was covered pretty well because they were trying to leak the tight end out into the flat. I think they were hoping he could catch and turn upfield and pick up the 1st down.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. Now Brady. Got him in. It's Brown. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
Airing this one out for Evans. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. A big connection on that one. 30 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
Again, it's Brady. Drops it to Jones in the flat. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. Here's Brady to throw. He'll find Jones again, complete. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Now Brady again. He'll be hit and taken down at the 20-line. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. Extra point try now for Succop. And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play.
So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay.
Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. Here's Isaiah Rodgers to return. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over.
And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's a give to Mack. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Second and 4.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Looking deep for Hilton. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on the way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Blankenship out for the point after.
Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And it culminates in an Indianapolis touchdown.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And here comes a return for
and all deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football. And the Colts pick it up. And they'll be at the 18-yard line. Great field position here in the red zone.
Oftentimes when we talk about piling on in any subject, it's a negative. In this case, for this team, it's a real positive. Just scored. Now they go down, knock the ball free, get it back. They got a chance to really increase their lead and put themselves in the driver's seat.
On the other side, a little insult added to the injury. They're in a bad spot.
1st and 10, Taylor now.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. On 2nd down now, it's Mack. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. They'll run it with Mack. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
But just power football there, down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come and have to report like they're eligible. But all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. And he will not make it to the goal line as his try for 2 is going to come up empty. But that's little consolation to this defense as they have been porous all game long.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Back now comes Tampa Bay.
Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for them, and after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Indianapolis, the streak continues as they push their mark to a perfect 12-0 now on the year. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, for the Buccaneers, it's starting to look like it won't be their year as they drop to 5-6. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup with